Not everybody who goes quiet is clueless. Some people shut up just to listen differently, not with their ears, but with their spirit. They're not ignoring you. They're studying you. Because silence is where truth shows its face. When you stop feeding people with words, with effort, with presence, you start learning what they were really hungry for. You start learning if they ever came for you, or just the feeling you gave them. Let me tell you a story. Reggie had been dating her for 3 years, and everything looked solid from the outside. They laughed, took trips, prayed together. She even started pressing him about marriage, asking when he was going to make it official, telling him, "I'm ready when you are." And truth is, Reggie was almost there. But before he made the kind of decision that could shape the rest of his life, he wanted to see something. He stopped doing the most, not out of frustration, but because he needed clarity. Clarity on what the energy would look like if it wasn't always coming from him. It started when he lost someone close. He told her, "Been a rough week. One of my dogs passed." She said, "Damn, sorry to hear that." Then kept scrolling, changed the subject. No follow-up later, no check-in, no emotional presence. He took note, didn't judge her, just noted the lack of depth. Then a few weeks later, his business slowed down. He wasn't broke, just budgeting, watching spending. So he paused the dinner dates and spontaneous plans. She started acting different, saying things like, "You don't spoil me like you used to." Never asked why. Never offered to pick up the slack. Never said, "I got you until things pick back up." She just noticed what she wasn't getting, not what he was going through. That's when Reggie began observing more intentionally. He wasn't being passive. He was evaluating. Would she pour in when he wasn't pouring first? Would she pick up on his shifts? Would she give, or just keep expecting? He stopped texting first some days, mentioned his bad moods without fully explaining, created space to see if she'd step in, emotionally, spiritually, or with effort. And what came back? Nothing. Not even confusion. Just more silence. More focus on herself. What made it worse? She wasn't incapable. She was just selective. He watched her show up fully for her friends, her family, her co-workers. She planned a birthday dinner for her homegirl. Sat on the phone for 2 hours talking her cousin through a breakup. Helped her sister with rent without hesitation. She knew how to pour in. She just didn't choose to do it for him. That was the answer he needed. Because it wasn't about capacity. It was about priority. Over the next few weeks, Reggie started sitting back like nothing was wrong, asking light questions, throwing out little moments just to see how she'd respond. And what came? More of the same. Until one day she finally said, "You've been acting real off lately. You don't give me the same attention. You don't seem excited about us anymore. I feel like you're slipping away." She didn't ask what he needed, didn't reflect on her role, didn't wonder if he was okay. She just played the victim. And that's when Reggie knew. This wasn't a rough patch. It was a pattern. And he couldn't unsee what her silence had revealed. That same week, he broke it off, not out of anger, not to hurt her, but because he finally had his answer. The hardest part ain't being alone. It's realizing they got used to your effort and stopped giving any of their own. She wasn't cruel, just too comfortable being loved by someone who never made her earn it. And when he stopped showing up like before, she thought he changed, but really the mirror just got clearer. She wasn't a bad person. She just didn't realize what she had until it stopped showing up for her. Because sometimes you're not being overlooked, you're being observed. And the whole time you thought they weren't paying attention, they were learning exactly who you are. This is the quote room, where words wake minds. Some things don't need a reaction, just reflection. Just a few thoughts I had on my mind.